Hey everyone, on today's video, we're going to be taking a look at composing using Spectrasonics Omnisphere, but exclusively with the sonic extensions packages they've been putting out every once in a while. As everyone probably knows, Omnisphere is an amazingly mature, very deep, detailed virtual instrument with incredible control over the sound, and all the sounds are generated by samples. The strategy that Spectrasonics has been employing to keep this very mature instrument up to date is to release packages called sonic extensions. And each one of these packages is a combination of new sample material, custom effects, and custom controls specifically designed for each individual extension. Each one of these extensions is targeted to a specific type of music, but it's my position that you can take this material and with a little creative ingenuity, with a little bit of work, you can make these sounds work in almost any style. So today I've composed a 2-minute track using 19 instances of Omnisphere with only the sonic extensions as my sound source. So we're going to take a listen to that now, and I'll come back on the flip side and we'll do a breakdown. Let's take care of some housekeeping before we play the track. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. For more content, please subscribe, and to be notified, ring that bell. Please leave any comments or questions down below. Thanks so much for watching, and let's get right into it. If we look over here, these bluish tracks are the Nylon Sky. These purplish reddish tracks are Seismic Shock. These orange-brown tracks are Unclean Machine. The green tracks are Undercurrent. And then these lighter blue are the Twisted Trees, which is the most recent one by Diego Stucco. So if we take this first section, we start off with this patch called Granular Trails from Nylon Sky. Right, so this is a really beautiful pad sound that develops over time, and it's got 5 scenes here. So I press the second scene. It's a little bit different sound. If I do the third scene, you'll see that it's different microphone settings, different settings on these controls. And I've done the first scene, which I liked, but I've also done some work here with mod wheel, and Expression is doing a very similar. And you could see more activity happens as you bring the mod wheel in. Then the next sound to come in is Absent Soul from Undercurrent. Mod wheel. What else is there? There's Expression. Yeah. So mod wheel brings in an additional layer of the sound. Right? And then there's this electric piano here from Unclean Machine. And I'm automating this timbre button here. And what's nice about this is that there's a nice echo on that sound, and that's coming from the chorus echo right here. So that's pretty cool. So all those together have a really nice feel to them, right? It sets this track up really beautifully. Right, so it's a nice exposition to our piece here. The next bit that comes in is this seismic choir right here. That's from Seismic Shock. Right, you hear all that motion in that. And then there's the wine glass organ from Unclean Machine, right here. Right, so that really is a beautiful, beautiful layering of sounds. Now, the thing to remember is that when you have sounds that have so much motion in them and so much activity going on with them, not to write a lot of music, you know, not to write a lot of notes. Just let the sound take care of the motion. You hear the pitch bend right here. Hear this low note coming in with the breakdown confessional from Seismic Shock. So, you know, just as an aside, I'm just going to do this right now. There is a ton of automation on this entire track. As you can see, there's mod wheel, there's general purpose, which I assign to certain functions to do that. So there's expression, all over the place. And this is the stuff that makes this sounds come alive, right? Is to do all this automation. I'm not going to go over all of that, but I'm just letting you know that I use it. All right, moving forward. So we have the next sound to come in is the gramophone rain right here. You hear those high trinkets, or whatever you want to call them. Let's listen to that with the breakdown confessional, as this gets really nasty. Yeah. Nice pulse to that. And then I'll emphasize that with these drum hits from Undercurrent using this patch called Deep Steam. Here we go. So everything together, let's take it right from here where the choir comes in. Okay, in this next section, we've got a really cool patch here in the nylon sky called Nylon Signs. Here we go. And if we look at the effects, right, we've got chorus echo and radio delay. So that gives us a lot of motion. And then we have more of that gramophone rain sound. So you'll notice that this is kind of in the mid-range. These are higher pitched sounds, right? So I'm keeping the activity away from each other in the frequency. Then there is this light aged spring mutes from the Unclean Machine. Oh, acetate blip it's called. That is not correct. Right, and it sort of sounds like it's wobbly vinyl or tape, and that is layered with this smoky marimba down here, also from Unclean Machine. And then add the nylon signs. You get a really nice pulse. It's beautiful. I have things panned on the left, things panned on the right. The guitar is right in the center. And then you add the gramophone rain. And then here we have that deep steam, which was that drum hit over here, which is this green track here. And that adds our bass notes with a little touch of percussion. Right, there's a little emphasis on the hit there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Right, it comes on the end of 1. All right, let's listen to that entire section unmuted. And move into the next section. So this is this area here, and this sound here is this thing called the Virgin Vinyl Rhodes from the Unclean Machine library. And then we continue on with that is not the aged spring mutes, that's the acetate blip. Just doubling that top note a little bit. And then you got the lonely electric piano, also from Unclean Machine. So that's kind of cool. And then from Undercurrent, we've got this thing called the Sherman pad, which is right here. Really nice, very rich sound. More overtones coming in as it gets longer. And then we have from Twisted Trees, Broken Windpipe. That sounds pretty cool. Let's listen to that with the Sherman pad, which is the green track. Right, so you see how the two of those sounds combined together. And how they both unfold over time using automation, as I showed earlier. Then we've got Wood Strike from Twisted Trees. Twisted Trees, right? Is that what I said? So let's add that with the Sherman pad and the deep steam. Whoops, wrong one. Sherman pad and Broken Windpipe. Here we go. So that's this track, and this track. Now let's go down one more. And this is also from Twisted Trees. This track, this patch is called Butterflies Migration. Really amazing sound, right? So notice that's very high. So we've got these pads that all take up, a very wide spectrum, but they don't get in each other's way. A wide spectrum of frequency. Add the wood strike. And then we've got our lonely electric piano on top of that. And this track here, the not aged spring mute. And then virgin vinyl roads. Okay, and then that track ends. And the sound continues on, and we overlap into the next section, which we move up here into the nylon sky. So we've got the granular trails from the beginning, along with the nylon signs, and then we add this picking time here. So let's listen to the transition. Okay, so let's solo those down. The granular trails. Right, they fade in. Nylon signs giving us a nice rolled arpeggio or broken arpeggio. With a lot of activity from the echo. And then let's listen to the picking time. Right, and again, they overlap. So even though these look like they're starting at about the same time, you're first hearing this, then this comes in, and then this will start here, but it'll fade in after a while. So we'll solo those three tracks and listen to that aggregate. Right, gives us a really nice transition. And then we have something called Plectrum Poison from Seismic Shock. That's this track here. A really nice, very rich, evocative sound. And then we've got that wine glass organ sound again, which is this track here. And there's a lot of activity in between each one of those notes. I mean, that sound is just moving. It's so animated. Let's listen to all of that combined. And then, let's see, there's this gramophone rain. I don't see a note there. Let's take a look. Yes, there is a note. It's just down pretty far. So that's also happening and padding through the entire section here. Here we go. Oh, that's really cool. So right here we've got these chord hits from the Smoky Marimba and the Rhodes, the Virgin Vinyl Rhodes. Let's listen to all of those together. Gives us a really nice aggregate sound. Very emotional. And these are from Unclean Machine. And then we have the Absent Soul starting here, and that's from Undercurrent. So, you know, this is going on Picking Time, which has that rhythm, and then this is overlapping and coming in afterwards, sort of between this and when this happens, and it really, you know, this hits, then this comes in, it fades in, and it sort of ties these two chords together. And then this sort of fades out, and then this gets even denser down here. So that's a really cool effect. And then this is keeping the pulse going, and then the seismic choir comes back in. You've heard all these sounds before. So let's take a listen to the Picking Time and the Absent Soul. And the Absent Soul comes in. Hear it in the high pitch. So you see how this is fading out, and this is nice and strong. And then the seismic choir comes in at the end to help us with that last chord. Got our nylon signs, and then this hit, that little line there. It's interesting. There's a lot of activity going on, and there's a lot of held notes, and you start to wonder, is the technology writing the music for you? And I would say not really, because if you think about the antecedents of this from my perspective, and you go back to Ambient Plateau by Brian Eno and Harold Budd, Brian was setting up these really deep time-based treatments of Harold's piano, and Harold was playing and reacting back to the sounds he was hearing in the headphones. So all the treatments, the delays, the sort of shimmery echoes and shimmery reverbs and everything, it had an effect on what he actually played, on how many notes he was playing. And what you can do with the sounds here, the animation that you can create with these sounds, when you sit back and listen to them and see what they're doing, and that will inform the kinds of music you actually make. Anyway, that's a breakdown of this track. Quick look at this. These are really great additions to Omnisphere. I would highly recommend them to anybody. You don't have to buy them all at once. You don't have to buy them at all. Omnisphere on its own is a great piece of gear. But I like the added effects that this adds, and I also like the sounds are great. Please like, subscribe, share this video, leave any comments down below. I've been Pete Calandra. I'll play it from the beginning all the way through to the end. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.